Good meowing, everyone. Welcome to my next video over White Forest Azamina, or White Forest in general. As the title suggests, I went to a local Yu-Gi-Oh event in my area where I went undefeated with this White Forest Azamina list. We played 5 rounds of Swiss, had a really good time, played late into the night. My brain was fried, my brain was cooked. Hit a lot of very difficult matchups in Chimera, Feedsmith, Snake Eyes, Yubel, even Labyrinth now. That was it was difficult, but it was a lot of fun. It was difficult, but it was a lot of fun, and we were able to remain undefeated. But we did drop a couple of games, like to Labyrinth going first. It was pretty rough on the die rolls. I think I only won like one die roll, and that was in the final round, and that probably saved me a lot in the final round. The only games I dropped the entire afternoon or entire evening was against Labyrinth going first, and then the final round, Chimera, Fiend Smith, on game 2 after I got to go first. So I made a couple of changes to my list that I posted previously for White Forest Azamina that I won the Rhoda event with. You can find that video. Oh, there we go, up here in the corner by clicking this little eye. Oh, hold on. Oh god, I'm so bad at this. There we go. Clicking the little eye right there on the corner. So we've made a couple of changes since then. Overall, I think they were good changes. Of course, I'm still working on the fine tuning of this deck. There's still some things I want to go forward, and I'll discuss those later when we get to those cards of like what I want to change with this deck and different ratios that I think should be played instead. And then we're always, of course, trying to figure out like what hand traps are best. We changed up our hand traps. Was probably the biggest change, or changed up our interaction against opponents. Outside of that, let's just get into it, and we'll discuss more about the changes and what I would like to see with this deck going forward. And of course, thank you everyone for your support on the videos. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the comments and questions that I've been receiving. Of course, if I miss anything, if there's anything you'd like me to go over more in detail, let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. So let's just get into the deck. Of course, starting out, we are on the 3 Stellar. We're on all 10 White Forest names, of course. 3 LZ, 3 Sylvie, and then the 1 Rushia. I don't think you ever cut any of these White Forest names. I think you have to run all 10 to hit consistency. Maybe when we get the Supreme Darkness support coming out, we finally make some changes to these numbers. But I think you have to run all 10 White Forests. Or all 10 names. I definitely don't. I've seen some people run like 2 Sylvie, and I don't think that's correct. I think you need to hit, like, even hitting Sylvie is great as an opening starter with this deck. If you have like Sylvie, Deception, stuff like that, you just still get to protect your lines. And then for our White Forest spells and traps, we are on the 1 Tails, the 1 Scourge, and the 1 Woes. Scourge, I will say, does so much heavy lifting for this deck. It is so very strong. I didn't realize like how strong it would be to have a quick play Omni Negate in the back row, but the Scourge hoses so many different interactions, keeps people from playing like just going brain dead, just like board breaker on you on going second. Being able to sack your Diabell, recycle your Diabell is so very strong. And also, like, this should be your first, if you're not already getting drolled during your White Force combo, or from your first White Force search, this should be your first search, because also being a quick play to insulate your combos. Definitely run 1 of each. Then we are on, of course, the 1 Toy Soldier, 1 Toy Tank, and 3 Toy Boxes. I can't wait until the Suda stuff comes out so I don't have to run this package anymore. This package is very good. Don't get me wrong. It's very good. I like the archetype. I like what they do. But I really this weekend I really got to see like how awkward things can get when you aren't able to branch into your Azamina lines and Azamina stuff, and you're just on Toy Box Engine. You really want to like draw a bunch of cards to just try and hit that Diabell, try and hit that Wanted, try and hit that Sinful Spoils Deception, whatever you can to get into that line. Don't get me wrong, this is still very good. This is still a great extender. The Azamina stuff is just so much better, and I can't wait till we're able to just consistently bridge into that Azamina stuff. So that's why we're still on the one of each and then the 3 toy boxes. Because seeing it is great, seeing it is wonderful, seeing it extends our combos, but it's not as good. We'd much rather have more consistency seeing the Sinful Spoil stuff. Speaking of which, we're on, of course, 3 Wanted, Seeker of the Sinful Spoils. And then 2 Diabellstar, the Black Witch. And then 2 Deception of the Sinful Spoils. I think 2 Deception is more than enough, especially since with White Forest, we get to recycle the Deceptions for our combo lines to get out multiple Azamina fusion summons in a turn. And a lot of the time, when I was going, if my opponent was just like, oh, I have no hand traps, no interaction, whatever, or I'm on board breakers, going second, a lot of the time with the Mu Resiliago, if I ever got to go Mu Resiliago first, I was just searching out the second Deception already, just to get the extra card draw from like a Wanted. But I definitely think if the first thing I would change with these ratios, with these numbers, is I would add the 3rd Diabellstar. I tried trading, buying, selling anything I could to try and get a Diabellstar before the tournament started because I really wanted to test at 3, but no store had them in my area. And anyone that had them at the tournament was already using them, so they didn't want to trade beforehand. So I would definitely play 3 Diabellstar in this list. Like there were so many times that just seeing Diabellstar or drawing into a Diabellstar or drawing into a Wanted or drawing just directly into the Deception would have opened up the hand and combo lines so much better. Let me end on a lot more stuff, but it was still fine. And then finally, we are on the Hollowed Azamina and the Azamina Debtors. Let me know down in the comments if you've been playing Debtors, if you like Debtors, because I like this card a lot. I have no idea if I still want to run this card. When it's good, when it comes up, it is amazing. It is great. It is wonderful. It's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. But like 80% of the time when it doesn't come up, because if I ever get to go to Mu Resiliago first, then I'm searching out, like I said, I'm searching out the second Deception for being able to get an extra card draw from the Wanted. I hardly ever get to search out the Debtors. The one time this came up was in the final round when I opened Hollowed Azamina. So I was able to search out the Debtors and just basically use this as discard fodder because it has a really good graveyard effect too. During your main phase, when this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Azamina monster in your graveyard and special summon it. The only issue with this card is you can only use 1 effect once per turn. I did get to use it to make a Soul Aristichian during my opponent's turn in, I think it was like round 2. For the targeted send that was pretty strong. So like when it comes up, it's great, but like getting into this card consistently is a little bit awkward, and a lot of the times I'm just searching out the second copy of the Deception rather than searching this out. Maybe once the Supreme Darkness cards come in and change up some of the lines, change up some of the consistency, I can see definitely putting this card back in. Again, let me know down in the comments below if this card has been good for you. As far as non-engine and hand traps, we changed it up this week. I wanted to test a different lineup of hand traps this week. I think it went pretty well. I definitely think this might be the hand trap line going forward. And that is 3 Ash Blossom of Joyous Spring, 3 Effect Veiler is what we're on now instead of the 3 Nibirus that we had originally. 3 Infinite Impermanence. And then we are on 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Ghost Ogre is very, very, very strong in this format. Being able to pop a lot of continuous spells, pop your opponent's Sinful Deceptions if they play it, and being able to pop field spells as well, like Song and Summoning, was very, very strong. It felt very good. I definitely, if I once the pseudo cards come out and we get to cut a lot of the extra extending packages that we don't need, like the toy box engine stuff, we could probably fit more hand traps in. These ghost ogres and snow rabbits, eventually when I get them, are going to become 3 Mulcharmies, so that's going to put the deck up to 42, like I said. And we'll probably make a cut because I don't want to go above 42. And then finally, for our one-ofs, we are on the 1 Triple Tactics Talent, the 1 Called By, and the 1 Angel Statue Azurine for our Steel Hat Rabbit. I still have not gotten to playtest Steel Hat Trick yet. I see a lot of people on it. I see some White Forest lists running it. I think it just comes down to personal preference. I think this deck makes a ton of negates and omni negates or pseudo omni negates to stop your opponent. The issue is I think having Angel Statue Azurine to stop a special summon of any kind, like inherent special summon or just like special summon by means of effect, is feels a lot better with this deck. Again, 41 cards in the deck. I definitely would have liked to play 42 with if I had the 3rd Diabell Star. And then if I ever get my 2nd and 3rd Mulcharmies, then I definitely think those take precedence and go into the main deck over the 2 Ghost Ogres. For our extra deck, we are on the 1 Zabraship. Card's great. Card is amazing. It's clutch in like every situation. It's a free spell and trap pop. It also goes into a Chaos Angel, which is also another banish for extra targeted removal, going second or going in a second form of targeted removal during my opponent's turn. The 1 Coral Dragon, never got to make this Saturday, but I mean, Coral Dragon is very strong. You need the card draw sometimes, and it is a synchro tuner, so you still get the effect from your Diabell, even if you go through this instead of like your Raciliago. And then the last 6, the Malong, of course, that hasn't changed. I don't know what this card should be. I never used this, and this never had to come up. But I have no idea what it should be as far as to fill a slot. Maybe we try bringing back the Visa Samitara to search out the Medati reframing, end on another Omni Negate. But the only issue with that is I don't want to go up in cards on the main deck. And also my back row is already so flooded with cards as well. Like I'm ending on 5 back row. We'll have to see like what I can replace this with, what synchros options there are. Then of course, as always, we are on the Wanted Forest package, the Rasilia, the Silvera, the Diabell. For our other level 8, the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, I still love this card for helping to board break. Go second, no one's expecting it. The little bit of burn is nice for time. And then our last and only level 10, the Chaos Angel. Again, like one of the best synchros ever made. You make it very easily with both light and dark effects with your Azamina fusion, plus a level 4 White Forest tuner. And then you just get to recycle both of those by like shuffling back your Rasilia or using the Hallowed Azamina effect by putting the by putting the Azamina fusion monster back into your extra deck to recycle Hollowed Azamina. And then for our Azamina monsters, we are on the Yugioh. We are on all three: Yugioh, Ilias Sevilla, and Sol Aristichian. They're all great. They all serve a purpose. I don't see not having all three. Xyz, Plan B, Baguska. I've talked about this card a lot. I've talked about this card enough. Have to have it for Shifter and going second decks if they interrupt you. Lastly, we are on the IPSP and the Silo Hat Rabbit. As far as this deck goes, this deck's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with this deck. I think this deck is very good. This weekend definitely showed, though, like, the awkwardness right now with the deck. I'm super looking forward to Supreme Darkness support coming out, just so we can have like more consistency. This weekend definitely showed like how awkward things can be with opening like one package versus the other package, not being able to bridge between like your toy engine into your Sinful Spoils stuff, and just really kind of like trying to draw the outs. There's so many times over the weekend or over Saturday that I was just like, okay, special summon Rusia, send like the toy box or whatever, just to try and hit like one of my Wanteds or my Diabell Star or Deception. And luckily enough, I hit them. I kept hitting them. It was great. It was great when I hit them. Or even just like recycling Wanted in the graveyard to try and hit like the toy box to keep extending. So the deck being able to draw a couple of cards during your combo is nice. Being able to search out so many to thin out your deck is really good. I just can't wait until we get the consistent support to be able to bridge into these lines a lot easier, a lot more consistently as well. Of course, like I said, if I missed anything, if you want me to go into more detail on anything, let me know down in the comments below. Again, remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Or if you would like to join me live at twitch.tv/GrinningNeko, especially once White Forest comes out in Master Duel, we're going to be playing that, farming that so often, as well as just playing more Yu-Gi-Oh in general, doing some remote duels and things like that with a hand camera. As well as just like more just variety stuff. If you like spooky games, if you like fighting games, if you like flavor of the month games, Vtuber collabs, we do all of that over there as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching as always, and good night.